you need to innovate in order to ensure that you don't leave a potential consumer out only because they can't pay. And I think, in the early days of pay TV evolution in India, India created a uniquely Indian model for pay TV, and that is why in 25 years or so, from no pay TV homes, it went to 135 million pay TV homes, because the average burden on the consumer was kept really low. Most people scoffed at the Indian pay TV model in 2000s and early parts of 2010 because they felt that the ARPUs were very low. But by keeping the ARPUs low, the ability to address a much wider demography was possible, and what you lost by way of ARPU, you gained by way of a much larger number of subscribers, a much larger number of consumers, and you supplemented that with an advertising model. So the amount of advertising revenue that came on pay TV in India allowed you to subsidize the consumer. Mm-hmm. And I think those innovations are extremely relevant even in the streaming business, if anything, much more, because the demography that you're targeting with streaming services for people like us at JioCinema is much wider.
Right. There is a saying in the industry that I've heard from some people at the conference and else in other conversations, that the growth model, the model before was subscriber growth at any cost. Do you think that still applies given this the environment we're in at the moment, sir?
It was never a good model, and it should not have applied in the past, and it certainly doesn't apply today.
Okay. The question I have also is, last count, they said that in terms of streaming platforms and media platforms in India, you had somewhere between 40 to 60 of them in India. My question is the Indian market for this particular service perhaps saturated at the moment, the way some people are asking about the West, or do you think that there's still room to grow? Basically, where are we at that point?
Yeah, it's 1.4 billion people, and with all these streaming services, look, not all of them are at scale. Hardly a few of them are at scale. And there is always an opportunity. The question is, are you going to be a Me Too product, or are you going to innovate and disrupt?